with everything going on, we need to laugh more now than ever. So this is a great way. Laughter is healing. Laughter is great. It gives you positivity. So more power to all the comics today. You got a great show. Every comic is superb. So I'm going to throw out a bunch of one-liners and we'll see what sticks.
Yeah.
So I have a 9-year-old son. The other day he comes up to me. He says, "Daddy, every day at school I get kicked. I get harassed. I get beaten up. I get insulted." I said, "Hey, you're the one who wanted to be homeschooled."
No.
So he's 9 years old and he doesn't like me doing stand-up comedy. He doesn't think I should be doing it. He thinks I should be doing age-appropriate activities, like dying.
Yeah, they always want that when you're right. Yeah.
The other day he asked me, he's flunking math, which is a shame because I thought he'd grow up to be such a great drug dealer. But he's flunking math. The other day he asked me to show him an example of a negative number. So I showed him my bank account.
No.
So, great to be here, by the way. So I'm schizophrenic and I have ADD. The other night I was talking to myself for 45 minutes before I realized I wasn't paying attention. When I was a kid, I used to wear hand-me-downs from my grandfather. People would come up to me and they'd go, "Barry, I really like your shirt, but what's with the colostomy bag?" Oh, I'm schwitzing. I live right near the edge of a forest, and periodically animals from the forest will come out into our neighborhood. The other day, my next door neighbor says to me, "Barry, I think I saw a cougar in the neighborhood last night." And I said, "Oh, that's just my mom."
Oh.
So I lost my job, right? And I'm out interviewing. I was at a job interview the other night, and the guy says, "By the way, do you have any experience in retail?" I said, "Yes, I shoplift here all the time." And then he says to me, "By the way, this is a drug-free workplace." I said, "Good, because I'm really tired of paying for the damn things." And I own a dog. They say after a number of years, you and your dog start to look alike, which is a shame because now he can't get a date either.
Oh.
By the way, I'm my girlfriend and I'll talk about her in just a second. We're going through some bad times. We might break up, but I found this out. The next time I ask a woman out, I want to make sure she works for Colonial Penn Insurance. Yeah, because their ad on TV says you will not be turned down for any reason.
No.
Now, this is true. This next joke is true. The only thing I've changed are the names and the facts. Okay. Spoke to my grandparents last week, and I found out that my grandmother got breast implants.
Oh.
But she found a better substitute than saline or silicone, helium.
Oh.
So I said to my grandfather, "What do you think about grandma's new additions?" And he said, So my girlfriend went to see her therapist yesterday. I can't wait to find out what else is wrong with me. She says I'm conceited, self-absorbed, and I don't care about anyone else. And I thought, when did I get a girlfriend?
Oh.
So I've been working as a writer. All last year, I tried to make my living as a comedy writer. So far, I've sold 2 things, my house and my car.
Oh. Oh, wow.
And I have a day job and I work with really weird people, Like there's this woman at work that undresses me with her eyes, but she has a lazy eye, so it takes hours. So I got a call this morning on my phone and it said scam likely, but I answered it anyway because that's also the name of my attorney.
Oh.
When I was a kid, my parents told me that I could do anything I want to when I got older, which is why I'm suing them. And last week was a bad week for me. Last week, I moved back in with my parents for financial reasons. And boy, do I hate that nursing home.
No.
So the other day, my boss caught me sleeping at work. Yeah, I think what gave it away was the CPAP machine. So I've been walking on eggshells because I can't afford carpeting. I told my girlfriend the other night, I'm tired of your drama. So she got me an energy drink.
No.
So I recently was house sitting for a friend. Did you know this? The one thing you're not supposed to do when you house sit, you're not supposed to sell it. And I went to college. I just had my college reunion. I went to college. I went to UCLA. Yeah, you guys are going to love this. At UCLA, I majored in communications, but I never told anyone. And at UCLA, I joined a very Jewish fraternity. It was called Sigma Chi. Great fraternity. In fact, as part of my initiation, I had to stand up to my mother.
Oh.
So my girlfriend is still hot. She's 50, but now it comes in flashes. And I grew up, I had Jewish toys that were different from other kids. You guys remember those toys years ago called Rock'em Sock'em Robots?
Mm-hmm.
I had the Jewish version called Sue 'em, Screw 'em Action Attorneys. And I have an uncle who's half Italian, half Jewish. That means he was circumcised at the Olive Garden.
Oh.
So I'm going to leave you guys with this. I tried Jewish speed dating the other night. That's where your mother sits with you at a table, and every 30 seconds she goes, not her, not her, not her, not her. You guys are a great crowd. It's going to be a marathon of comedy all day today. Thanks to Grace for arranging this, her host Carlos, and you guys have been a terrific crowd. My name is Barry Weisenberg. Thank you very much.
You're welcome, Barry. Make sure, bravo, that was so funny, as you can hear my cackling. Thank
you, Grace. Thanks a lot.
Make sure you stay for the interview. Shayna's going to go up, and then we will bring you and Shayna up, and we're going to ask you some questions. And we have here, by the way, King Mike, he would love for you to help him punch up your act. That was so good. Look at all the good comments you got. Everybody loved you, but how can you not love Barry? He's brilliant, sweet, the sweetest man ever, and he's just I adore you, Barry. You're so amazing. You've always been very. I love you too. You've always been so kind and so just you're amazing and brilliant. You make me laugh. I can hear the same joke a million times, and I'm laughing I'm cackling.
Oh, I'm leaving you all my money, Grace. You can have it all.
That's why I said that.
Thank you for having me on. I loved it.
Oh, that's fantastic. We love you. And I hear Indea says the suing your parents joke was my favorite.
Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Give it up for Chana Carol. Woo!
Ooh, my goodness, I'm so glad that I'm here. I'm so glad that I get to do comedy from my living room because I've had a really busy morning already. So I referred somebody to a job. I canceled my evening plans, and I've changed out of my pajamas into something that looks like pajamas. So great. I'm glad this is online too because all my family's in the East Coast, and my 93-year-old grandma gets to watch this. right? Well, we think she's 93. No one's cut off any limbs and counted the rings, you know? But yeah, she's an old Italian lady who looks like Robert De Niro, but with a perm. And she does a really good impression. She likes to do that line, are you talking to me? Are you talking to me? And I think I just realized she only says that when she doesn't have her hearing aid in. Anywho, also my aunts and stuff are here as well. Hi. Great. Yeah, they're the first time that I went out with my mom and her 4 sisters was for my aunt's bachelorette party, and they got into a bar fight. Ooh. True story. Yeah. And they said that I was scared and I didn't fight and I hid behind the jukebox, but that's just not true. I hid all the way across the country in California. Yeah. So there's that. You know, it's a tough group of broads, these women. Like, I think it comes from the top down. Like when I was 9, I was really excited to do this ballet dance. And I came off the stage and I have my little tutu and my little swan-like headpiece. And my grandma, she was like, Chana, don't do ballet. It's not your thing. And I was like Robert De Niro, encouragement. It's not your thing. She was like, you know, she wonders why I never call. She's like, what, Chana, you can't call your grandma, your finger's broken. I'm like, no, Grandma, it's my will. My will is broken. But thanks, you know. I'm so glad that they get to see this. I just celebrated my 21st wedding anniversary.
Woo!
Woo!
Yeah.
Right? My marriage is old enough to drink. So there's that. I'm going to give you the secret to a long marriage, guys. Don't have kids. Okay? That's the only way it works out. Thank you. I like the clapping. Yes. So for our anniversary, we decided to spend our time at SeaWorld. Yeah, I know. People are like, you know, they're like, oh, SeaWorld. But look, I've never watched that documentary, okay? I never watched Blackfish, okay? Because why am I going to watch a documentary about a whale pretending to be a fish in blackface? Okay? He's not fish passing, is what I'm saying. I don't know. People say he's sad because he's in captivity, okay? But like, I'm in captivity. Captured, done. That's it for me. You know, that's it for me. You know, people like people have animals, right? Animals, they're in captivity, right? Because can they leave? Exactly, captivity. And people will say, "Oh no, but you know, my dog loves me," and I'm like, "Okay, Stockholm." Like most people get their dogs fixed, right? Yeah. Would your dog still love you if he knew you took his junk? Just saying. No, he wouldn't. Like, you know, you change his pronouns without his consent, guys.
Yeah.
That's what happened, okay? And like, people will be like, "Oh, but no, it's my fur baby." Like, definitely not a baby, okay? Because you can pay to take that baby out at any time, okay? I can't pay someone to take my husband out, okay? Because he's black, and that would be a hate crime. That's what I'm saying. Okay. Yeah. But the whale is sad because he's stuck in a dead-end job with no upward mobility. Well, welcome to capitalism, guys. Okay? Like, I'm trying to get a better job out here, and it's hard. The interview questions they ask are crazy. Like, I went to this interview, and they asked me if I would recommend my current job to somebody else. I was like, no, I hate them there. That's why I'm leaving. Like, okay. I don't know if you guys have had normal experiences, but I have not. Okay. Like, just give you a scenario. This is a true story. How would you feel if you were being instructed on what to do for the day by your job, all while she had her shirt off? Yeah. She called it breastfeeding, but I didn't see any baby. Okay, I'm just saying. Okay, like I was like, I should be instructing you on putting those things away. Is what I'm saying. Is what I mean. I was like, if I tell them that I left my old job because I saw my boss half naked, Does that make them look crazy or me? I'm not sure. I was like, is this an appropriate work relationship? Like, you got a lot today? I don't, am I cheating on my husband? Because I feel like it might be the job for you, Mike. I'll get to that. But like, I was like, if I'm going to cheat on my husband, I feel like I could pull in a person who's not a demon, like my boss. You know what I mean? I feel like I deserve better than that. Okay. Yeah, exactly. And I'm like, do I recommend that job? I don't know. Are you thirsty, Mike? And it's a job for you, you know? I didn't know where to look. I was like, don't look directly at it. Don't look directly at it. And don't boop it. Don't boop. Yeah. Mike, I'll recommend you. Okay. I had a job where I walked into the kitchen and I saw the chef was cooking with a roach on his shoulder. Yeah. A roach? How's he going to get the promotion before me? I mean, he started on the floor, worked his way up to management. Okay. Do I recommend that job? Well, I'll give you the, number to Roach-a-Tui, and you can see if he recommends me. Okay. All of this, by the way, to say that it's not so bad, Shamu, is it? I mean, after all, he is an unaliving whale. Okay. You can't even say his name anymore. He's an unaliving whale. Just think, Menendez brothers, what they did. So he's a Menendez brother whale. Okay. and you're surprised that he did the unaliving. It's in his name. Like, I guess you're surprised that the Hamburglar also doesn't pay for his stuff.
Yeah.
But it's okay because, Shamu, if things don't work out, you can always get a job as a CEO. No. Thank you guys so much for having me on. I appreciate you.
Thank you so much. That was hysterical. That was so good. I would love to have you on my Plausible show, which is monthly. It's called Love Gone Funny. And the next one is on April 18th. If you're available, I would love to have you on it. So message me on Instagram.
Okay, will do.
Amazing. Amazing. So here you have some more comments. Yay. Shana, I did it. Great set. Thank you. Thank you so much. So funny. 10 out of 10. Agreed. You are so cool. Wow. This is so nice. So funny. Yes.
Love that.
What inspired your set tonight, Shana? Was there a particular moment or experience that sparked some of these jokes?
Honestly, everything that I've told you is a true story. Honestly, I take things from life because apparently weird things happen to me. And so then I get to share them with you. Honestly, yes, that happened at work. My boss did do that. Yes, my grandmother did disparage my poor ballet outfit. Yes, my family got into a bar fight. Yeah, this is just my life. I don't know what to tell you.
I feel you. Yes. Sometimes the jokes just write themselves in life, don't they?
Yeah.
It's insane. Right. Don't you agree, Barry? Like they write themselves.
Absolutely. Shana is right. The stuff that I talk about, not necessarily true, but it's stuff that I think about all day. Like, what's the worst thing that could happen to me? And then I start thinning it down. And by the way, Shana, I also got into a bar fight and I got really hurt because it's the type of bar that's in a limousine. So I got thrown out at 120 miles an hour. So I just want to let you know. But you're right. It's the stuff we all talk about. It's the stuff that the audiences can relate to because everyone has had an experience with their boss. Everyone's had some kind of experience with their grandmother. You could go on and on.
Well, just like you, we're talking about your mom. I get it.
Yeah, exactly. We can all relate to that, regardless of religion or color. We all have the same similar experiences.
Absolutely. It's about sharing our humanity with others. Yeah. And I think that's what art is about in general, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And some will resonate with some people, other things will not resonate, and that's okay.
But you know what you do, is you do what I saw Shana did. Maybe some of it won't resonate with certain audiences, but other parts will.
Exactly.
Right. So, it goes without saying you can't please everyone all the time, but eventually you become so strong that everything works. And if your audience will find you. And Chana, everything you did killed. It was great.
It was amazing. It was amazing.
Thank you so much.
Both of you are brilliant. Love it. And when I first started, I used to be mad if they didn't laugh, because you're new and you don't understand what we just talked about. And it's true, Barry, as you get stronger. And I think for me, it's been the emotion behind what I say that really connects with the audience, because I am a very emotional person, passionate, not emotional. I'm not really emotional. I'm very passionate. And so that passion, I learned how to put it in my stand-up and in my characters, because I do sketch comedy. All that passion goes in there. And I think that they connect with the emotion. What do you guys think about the emotion behind what we say?
Yeah, Chana, you first.
I've never been called emotional ever. So
That's so funny.
Never. No, it is true. I feel like if you connect with your things, all the material that you have, when you connect, the audience connects.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I think that emotion is 100%, part of this.
Yes. And the audience knows when you're lying and when you're telling the truth. When you deliver it and you match your body language with the looks on your face and what's coming out of your mouth, when you make it intense, the audience goes, whoa, she's telling the truth.
Yeah.
I want to see what she has to say. So you're absolutely right.
Absolutely. And also think the cadence and the musicality of stand-up. It's something crazy that I realized I write stand-up like poetry, because to me it is poetry in a way.
It is.
Right? What do you guys think about that?
There's a certain cadence. We all do our bit. You got to pause a little bit to let the audience laugh. If you race through it, they're going, oh, she's going too fast. I can't keep up with her. But you pause, you have body language, you do all the right things. And that comes with performing over time. You may not know it at first, but over time, you start to grasp it. And all of a sudden, every show you do, the audience goes, you were so great. And you're on cloud nine.
Absolutely. That is so true. So I'm going to ask you guys, Chana first, ladies first today. How did you get started in comedy, Chana? Was there a defining moment when you realized, this is what I want to do?
Okay. So, I made people do sketches with me like when I was little. I remember when I was like 10, I was in Florida visiting my grandma, and I made her record sketches with me on a tape recorder back in the day. Yes. I was like, we're going to do this. And I used to do this like with my, my cousin as well. And then at some point, I got a free class. I got to go to a free class, and I got up on stage and because we were supposed to write like a joke at this class, and like you're supposed to tell your joke. And I got up on stage, and I didn't even think my joke was funny. I was just telling the truth, and people laughed.
See?
And I was like, all right, well, maybe I should just do this. And I started doing. I have to tell you, there's been some bumps along the way. I've had some teachers, me and teachers, I don't know. It's my face or something. I don't know. I always wind up getting into trouble in class, and they always, they usually make me cry because I'm not emotional. And then,
Not at all.
Then I come back, and then, I remember one time somebody tried to like deter me, and my husband was like, "You can't let one person, stop you."
Exactly.
Absolutely. You're so right. We can't let anybody stop us, because this is what we're called to do. We're called to be artists, and art can really, and I know this is going to sound grandiose, but we can really change the world, and not the whole world, but maybe a group of people, even just one person. If we can, help one person or just stir up their thinking, and I think that's why we're here.
I agree.
We're here to create trouble. That's what we're here for.
Well, and I didn't listen when she tried to create trouble within myself. So then I just kept going. And I was like, oh, I love this. I love I love
Mhm.
making people laugh. There's
Yes.
too much seriousness. I like the lightness. That's me.
Yes. Absolutely. Absolutely. And there's comedy in everything, to be honest. I went through cancer, and cancer to me was hilarious. I would text I mean, it's not hilarious, it's awful, but I'm saying, I could see the funny to the point where I would get so frustrated about my treatment that I would text my best friend who took care of me, and she would be like showing it to her husband because she was like, this is hilarious. And I didn't mean to be hilarious. I was just so frustrated that it came out naturally. So we can even make cancer funny. Is that crazy?
Yeah.
Mhm.
I agree.
It is so connecting. Like, you connect with humanity when you make those things that people go through funny.
Yes.
Absolutely. 100%. So Barry, how did you get started in comedy? Was there also for you a defining moment when you were like, yeah, this is what I
Yeah.
want to do?
I was 10 years old. I was in Long Beach. I was selling heroin, and I was sleeping with my and I thought, maybe there's a better way for me to improve the world. So I stopped sleeping with my teacher, and I said, by the way, before I go on, and I just want to make sure, Grace,
Yes.
you are also a phenomenal comedian. I just wanted to
thank
mention
you.
how
Thank
funny
you so
are,
much.
what a great person you are. You're caring, you're lovely, you're sweet to everyone, and you're funny as hell.
Thank
So I
you.
just wanted to mention that.
Thank
But
you. Thank you.
similar
Thank
to what
you.
Shannon was talking about, I used to do funny things as a kid, and everyone told me, Barry, you're really doing funny stuff. You ought to think about doing comedy. And I love Jerry Lewis. And then I took a class in stand-up comedy, and I was hooked. And when, like Shannon said, when I told my first joke, the laughter went right through me. I go, this is it. This is what I want to do. So I've been doing it ever since.
I love that. I
Yeah.
love that. So, Shayna, what's been your wildest or most memorable moment on stage? Any hecklers, like weird gigs or unexpected surprises?
Okay. I did a show. No, this is an unexpected moment. So I did a show right after Christmas one time, and it was in a place where people. I would say the average age in the crowd was probably like 66. Okay, and it was at a place where I didn't know this, but they were supposed to play bingo after the show.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't think that they knew there was a comedy show. I think they wanted to play bingo. So,
Yeah.
so I stood up there, and the person with the show, they had some cancellations, and they were like, can you do like 10 to 15 minutes? And I was like, sure. This is before I knew. And I get up to do comedy. They didn't turn off the TVs behind me.
Oh.
They're watching a
my
basketball
God.
game. And I had Old Man Winter in the corner giving me the stink eye the entire time.
My God.
Yikes.
And that was an interest. I have to tell you though, it's and not a one person laughed. Not one time did one person laugh, and that's okay. As
Yeah, I know.
I learned a lot in that show. And like, I still remember that guy in the corner just staring me down, like, when are we gonna play bingo?
They were like, we don't have a long time to live, and you're wasting our time. You're taking time away from our bingo right now.
Yeah. Like, it's right after Christmas. It was right between Christmas and New Year's. And I think this was the first time they had come back after Christmas. Man, they were into the bingo, and I was delaying that bingo.
Yeah, not popular with them.
Best show ever.
Yeah, tell me. Yeah, right. But we learn from those shows, isn't that crazy?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I remember one time when I first started, like I was 5 years into it, and they hired me and they paid me really good money to do a corporate gig. This was like 15 years ago. And they did, I went up after they had eaten the dessert and everything. So they did not want comedy. They wanted to get out.
Yeah.
So we had like maybe 10 people left, and I bombed so hard. But I have to do 45 minutes. I went to my hotel room crying. It was in Reno. It was snowing. I called my best guy friend. I was like, don't want to do stand-up anymore. And the only reason I stayed on that stage is because I was paid like $2,000 to do that.
Yeah.
For real. This was back in the day, Barry. Remember when they paid more? Now it's
When
like
they
$50.
paid?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
But back then they would pay you. And that was, I learned so much about that. Like never do a corporate gig after they're done with the food.
Right.
Do it before the food and get, so I learned a lot from that. But yeah, Shane, I feel your pain. It's
They
like,
didn't tell me. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, go ahead. I was going to say, you never do a comedy before the food or before bingo is what,
Yes.
I mean, after the food or before bingo. I'm sorry.
Right.
Yes. Rules.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And Barry here, you have a fan. Barry! Woohoo! Yay!
Oh, it's Kim, and she attends the open mic that I do on Plausible, and she's just a terrific writer.
Oh, very
Great.
nice. Well, Kim, hit me up on Instagram because I do book Plausible. We're going to have, by the way, the owner and the founder of Plausible, who is Leanne Linsky. She's going to be one of our experts. And that's an online comedy club. And I love Leanne. I love that comedy club. So Kim, follow me on Instagram, The State of Grace Fraga, and hit me up on Instagram. I'll follow you back and I'll book you on Plausible. Today I'm booking you guys too. This is a booking opportunity.
I want to say one thing real fast. I've never once seen you bomb, Grace. So that had to have been rare because you kill all the time.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. That's because you were not in Reno with like minus 10 degrees Fahrenheit.
Yeah.
And me crying on the phone.
I'll bet the average age of the audience was deceased. Is that correct?
We'll go with that, Barry. Thank you.
And I want to get in touch with that Mike King Sanford. He wants me to punch up his act. I'll be happy to do so.
Absolutely. Yes, here it is. Wait, where is he? Let me see if I can see the comment. Yeah, he wants you to. So how can he contact you, Barry?
Can I say it? Can I say my email?
Absolutely. Well, if not on Instagram, they can DM you on Instagram if they follow you.
I'm not on Instagram. I do snort coke. I just said I'm not on Instagram. No, I'm kidding.
Okay.
But he can reach me at Barry, BARRY, W, 1956 at gmail.com.
Excellent. Okay. So let me put it up here.
Yeah. And
so I'm going to put it.
My open mic, you're welcome to it on Plausible. You were great.
Fantastic. Yes. And King Mike, go ahead and contact me on Instagram. Follow me. And, because you have to follow me. I follow everybody back. So follow me so we can DM and it doesn't go to like the other inbox, which I never check because it's all Bitcoin and scams. So I never check it.
Yeah.
Or they want to be my sugar daddy, which that one I was like, but no, it's a scam too.
There's a price you have to pay for that one, and it's heavy.
I know. I heard that. They trick you.
It might be that guy from that show. I think it.
The stink I got. Yeah.
Yes. So, so what was your most memorable moment, Barry, on stage? Like any weird gigs, anything like crazy?
There's been times, I'll just say this. Well, I can't think of any one memorable moment. We've all done those gigs, which are hell gigs. We've all done them. We've all been there. And the refreshing part is I've gone on YouTube and I've seen people talk to Seinfeld and Chris Rock. And, we always think, oh, they're great all the time. They've got horror stories. And I listen to them and I go, you know what? If they've got horror stories and now look at them, I've got horror. I'm going to keep on going just like they did. A friend of mine said, when you bomb the next day, get right back up and do it again. And you're right. You learn so much from when you bomb and it makes you stronger. I
couldn't agree more. It's pain, no growth. It's unfortunate.
Or no pain, but
no growth.
No growth.
No gain. The two things. But yeah, absolutely. And in life in general, don't we learn from our hardest times or, and we grow from them? So it's the same on the stage. The stage is just life with a mic. Basically, that's what it is. So, so Shayna, what is your writing process like? Do you have a specific routine, or do jokes just come to you in the shower?
You know what's funny is the best jokes come to me in the shower.
Yeah.
Love that.
I like, honestly, I do like, I come up with ideas a lot of times, like before bed or in the shower, or when I'm not like a crazy person. I mean, which is always. But anywho, I usually run those things past my husband, because he's a tough cookie with the laughing. So he's a good person to bounce them off of. Sometimes what's crazy about me too, it's not normal, is that a lot of times I'll get a lot of ideas right before a show.
Yes.
Absolutely.
And if I'm doing like open mics or whatever, like, I just do the stuff like that I just came up with for that open mic. Because I don't know. It's like when my brain turns on is when we're having a crisis, is basically.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely. With, like I said, with cancer, I came up with so much material, and it's a little hard to do cancer material. So I've been looking for like a starting bit that would introduce the topic, and people wouldn't be like, oh no, she had cancer. So I start now, finally, after like I was diagnosed in 2021. So after like 4 years of, trying to figure out, I finally figured out, starting with like, cancer cells are dumb. People just warm up to the whole bit, and they don't feel bad for me because I'm insulting cancer cells. So it's that's another thing. It's very important, like the order of your set. Do you guys have a specific order to your set that you have worked on and you feel it works? And why do you feel it works that way? Who wants to go first?
Barry, you can take this. I went first last time.
It's like, I've spoken enough. I'm going to play.
By the way, this is going to sound funny, but I also come up with a lot of ideas in Shayna's shower. I just want you to know.
I've seen him in there.
Yeah, it's pay-per-view.
When I'm in her shower, oh my God. And my husband really is a tough cookie. He told me to get out. Okay.
Yeah. So, what's that for any holes in your shower, Shayna?
The way I do, because I do one-liners, I try to group them as much as possible. They say you're supposed to open strong and end strong. I want my strongest joke up front, my second strongest joke at the end. And I basically revolve around that, and I try to make every single joke that I write strong. They stand alone so I can move them around if necessary.
I love that. Yes, absolutely. And yeah, I've changed my closing bit so many times because I think the closing bit is just as important as the beginning bit.
Yes.
The opening, because you want to leave with a bang. And sometimes I would leave with, and no bueno. That's not good at all, right? But besides Shayna's shower, what's your writing process like, and where, how do like jokes come to you, Barry?
I am lucky because stuff bounces in my head all day long.
Yeah.
Shayna's right. I thought of one joke that I did today. I thought of it just before the show started, and I threw it in. Stuff bounces in my head all day long. If not, what I do is I go on YouTube and I start to watch other comics. It stimulates my brain. I start bouncing off the material. I'm off and running. But I generally, even at work, I'll do 2 to 3 hours of joke writing every single day.
That's amazing. And I love that you said that other comedians inspire you. If we watch like the ones that have done this forever and are incredible at their craft, then we learned so much from the way they structure their act to the way they deliver. Yeah, I think that comedians, we should watch comedy all the time.
I agree. I do.
Yeah.
I agree with you.
Thank you. I love when people agree with me.
We do all the time, Grace. When I'm out in public, I tell people to agree with you, no matter who they are.
Oh, thank you. I can see something in the private chat here on StreamYard. Yeah, you did. Agree with Grace or else.
In fact, I'm learning hypnotism to make sure that it sticks.
Damn
I
right.
love it.
That's the right way.
I love
Yep.
it. Thank
You learned that hypnotism from my shower. That's where it's.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's a direct link, Chana. It's literally just
Shayna,
Push the
watch
button,
for a
there you are.
second. Watch for a second hole in your shower, Shayna.
Okay, I know there's a. I'm here looking for these cracks now, guys. I know they're in there.
Well, Shayna's shower is famous today. Wow.
Yeah.
Yes, I know. Who
Your
knew?
husband helped us put in the cameras, so we're good.
Oh wow! I'm sure he charged as
Make
he
sure it's
should.
streaming.
He is. He's the tech guy. So you know,
I love that, Shayna. Good move, marrying
Yeah.
a
right?
tech guy. That's amazing. So here, King Mike says, Barry, check your email. So there, we made a connection there. I love that.
Thank you.
Amazing. So, okay, so I'm going to ask you guys a couple of more questions. Oh, this one is good. I have some questions here that I'm always prepared, but I try to look as if like I'm coming up with them, but okay.
We know you already had these are in the bank. You're just
Thank you.
yeah,
Thank
we
you.
know.
Yeah. Thank you. I just haven't memorized them or incorporated them into my brain. Yes. No, you get me, Shane. I love it.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. So who are your biggest comedic influences? Any comics who shaped your style or inspired you to step on stage? Shayna, let's start with ladies first.
Well, I have to say, like when I was younger, I loved people like Adam Sandler.
Yes.
Yes.
And I thought like he was sort of like the first, like I bought his comedy album back in the day because I was like, he was so silly. And that's kind of how I'm not like Adam Sandler silly, but I love the silliness. And I think that was the first person that I was like, wow, he's just a goofball and I love it. And I love that sort of silly playfulness. And I also really liked Pauly Shore back in the day too. Like I made a collage on like my science book and it had me and Pauly Shore like hugging. My standards were very low back in the day. But I nowadays I think one comedian that I find fantastic is Gina Yashari, like her style and her like again it's sort of that storytelling and that whimsical kind of dark whimsical nature that kind of I love her.
Yes.
Yeah, she's great.
I love that. So Barry, how about you?
Rodney Dangerfield was my biggest influence.
Yeah.
Also, Mitch Hedberg.
Yeah.
Great one-liners. Stephen Wright, great one-liners. And what really, even though he's not a one-liner guy, I saw Jay Leno years ago when he was just starting out. Oh my God, he was incredible.
Really?
He wasn't doing jokes. He was doing bits. Carlos, you might have seen him years ago. And he was not like you see him today where he does jokes, but he was doing bits. And he was so funny. I saw him. I said, that's what I want to do. I want to be like him. Well, my style isn't like him, but I learned from watching Rodney. And I want everything to be a one-liner or as close as possible. They help shape my style.
Yeah, Barry. I got to see Jay Leno the week before he took over the Tonight Show, and I was blown away. I mean, just wow. So you're exactly right.
Yeah, he's the hardest working comic. He's a killer comedian. I love his stuff. And he's also a very nice guy, by the way.
Oh, I heard that. Yeah.
Really good. He helps out comics. He's a really good person to know. I don't know him. I do know a little bit. The guy that used to pick, and I can't remember his name, he used to choose the talent on the Tonight Show. I worked with him. Also a terrific guy. He came up to me once. I worked a show with him in LA, and he says, boy, you have a never-ending supply of one-liners. I thought, wow, that's great.
Yeah.
Very nice guy.
Awesome. I love that. So let's say first, Shayna again. How do you handle hecklers? And do you have a favorite heckler story?
Okay. So I have only been heckled one time. which is
Wow.
great. But I don't even, right, but I don't even know if it was a heckle. They just asked me to, flash the audience. And I was like, that's an interesting. I was like, I don't think I'm not even the right demographic for this, guys. like I don't, there's definitely people on the show who were better to, if that's what you want. But I think it's funny. So like I talked about my family and how tough they are.
Yes.
So I always feel like anytime somebody wants to say something, I'm like, look, my 93-year-old grandma has said worse. So I'm like, it just like brushes right off me. I'm like, I've heckled myself more than you guys have. Like, okay, I heckled myself in the mirror this morning, so I got ahead of you, just so you know.
I think comics were very hard on ourselves sometimes.
Yes. Yes.
I know, because we kind of have to be.
Yeah.
To be able to improve, right? To be able to be like, that didn't land, and why didn't it land?
Right.
Maybe I could drop it or whatever. I think we have to be a little sensitive.
Absolutely agree. You want to make it, you got to be hard on yourself. You got to make sure if stuff is weak, even though you say, oh, my ego, no, you got to look past your ego, put it on the shelf, write more, just write more jokes.
Absolutely. I agree. Couldn't agree with you more.
Yeah.
How about you with the hecklers, Barry?
Rarely. And because I think similar to what Shana said, I beat up myself constantly. So why would someone want to beat up with me? But the one moment that changed my life is years ago, I was performing and it was a lot of gang members in the audience. And this one guy kept heckling me and I had a response for everything he said. And finally he said, he turned to his buddy and out loud, he said, let's not heckle the Jewish guy. He's ready for us. And I laughed my head off and he left me alone.
That's amazing.
Yeah, and that was basically, I haven't gotten it since.
That's amazing. I love that. That's a great story.
Yeah.
So, okay.
Wait, I would say this.
Yes.
I'm also, you can't tell from this screen here, but I'm also 4'10". So it's like, you feel good about yourself picking on little people here? Do you feel good? I don't know.
You have a point there. I think the physicality also affects how they react to us. Don't you think?
So, it's like if you pick on me, you're going to look like a big bully. And that's...
That is true. But not to me, see, because I'm like 5'7". If I wear heels, I'm a little taller. I used to be an athlete, so I'm like, thick. And I remember once I did a prison because, I'll do anything. Laundromats, prison.
Yeah.
Living rooms. It's good.
Absolutely. Anything works for me. And so one of the guys was like, hey, you have thunder thighs. I was like, is that a compliment? Or is that like he felt comfortable enough to tell me I have thunder thighs.
Grace, how come I didn't see you that day? I was doing 7 to 10. I don't know why I didn't see you. I missed that show. I'm sorry.
Oh my God. So funny. So you guys, thank you for being first, kicking off the show with such amazing energy, such incredible comedic talent, and your interview was gold. I'm telling you, you guys have brought gold, comedy gold, and interview gold. So I really appreciate you guys. And thank you so much for doing this comedy marathon or streamathon, should I say?
Yeah, and we thank you for having us. All right. Thank you, Grace and Carlos.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for not playing bingo. After.
You guys have set the standard for interviews in the future. You guys are the standard.
I'll tell that to my boss. Thank you very much.
Exactly. Exactly.